Right, we are live. I think we're live. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me for this semi-unplanned live unboxing video of Tainted Grail, Kings of Ruin, presumably with all of the stuff that you can get for the game. This box arrived this morning, and I think this is everything. Now, for those people wondering, I'm based in the UK, and I've got a copy of the game because Awakened Realms sent it to me direct, because I'm due to actually do a playthrough video for this next Friday. It was actually due to arrive on Monday of next week, and I got an email this morning from FedEx to say your package is out for delivery today. So I thought, oh well, I'll do a quick unboxing video. So yeah, I'm going to be doing this now, and we'll see what's in it. And if you're interested in a playthrough, I will be doing a playthrough of this next Friday, which will be the 15th of March at 8 o'clock in the evening. That's when I'll be doing a playthrough of the game. So as you can see, we've got all of the boxes, all of the stuff, and we're now going to have a look to see what it is. So for those people who don't know, Tainted Grail Kings of Ruin is the second game in the Tainted Grail series. There might not be any more, I don't know, but the original game, which was Tainted Grail, came with 3 campaigns plus an extra one. Fall of Avalon was the original box, and then basically this is, I mean, is it wrong to call it a second version of the game? It is a continuation of the game. They have tweaked a number of the rules. They've taken on board a lot of feedback. But if you were one of those people, like many people, who weren't keen on the original game because of X, Y, and Z, take a look at this one, because from everything that I've read about it, most of people's concerns with the original game, which was the grind and the difficulty and everything else, they have addressed that and they have fixed that. And I don't think I have it, but there is an update pack, which brings the original game up to the 2.0 rule, so that you can actually go back and play the original campaigns with the new rule set, I believe. Now, as I say, I don't think I have the upgrade pack. I think I've just got all the new stuff. So it's a big box. It's a very big box. And all I've done this morning, full disclosure, is I've taken the shrink wrap off. That's it. I've not actually changed anything about what's inside the box. And I've not looked at anything that's inside the box. So yeah, what you're seeing here is probably, and should be, how you get it. And we're going to have a look into it. So the first thing is, and I'm going to mute the microphone just while I take off this plastic. Would have been very, very loud. We have some punch board. Now I do have the weird encounters, which I think is the optional miniatures for the game, which you do not need, because the game comes with cardboard standees with the artwork on, so you can use these. But yeah, the miniatures are there optionally. I'll be honest, I have had a quick look at those, because Awakened Realms, I think it's fair to say this, do some of the best, if not the best, miniatures on the market, in my opinion. Right, so punch board for, let's do Paul's punch test. Oh yeah, that's how all punch boards should be. I always like to do Paul's punch tests, but sometimes I'm punching them out and I'm like, oh, there's a little nid. This is perfect. This is good. Maybe I got the sharp blades from the cutter. Right, we also have what looks like, and again, I don't know the rules of this game yet. I am due to be learning it over the next few days, ready for Friday. But this looks like the skills that the characters used to get. They just look a bit nicer, and there's space in them to put a cube. So yeah, we'll see about them later on, but they certainly look like character skills, because you have a character and the character can gain experience points and you can level up and things like that. Rulebook. I had nothing to do with this rulebook, just so you know. So this is the first time that I've really seen it. I helped them with the original ISS Vanguard rulebook. But yes, we'll see. The original rulebook for the original game was okay in parts, but then there were other parts that were really not clear. I think they've improved things, so hopefully that will all be okay. And I'm going to be really interested to have a look through this and see how much is different. You know, Is it 90% the same game as before, or is it very different? I don't know. Just having a browse through it now, it looks very similar. What have we got here? Start here. Okay, so it would have been better if that was on the top. But we have start here. And it's an open and play guide, which I really like. So the original game came with one of these, and it was basically, it taught you how to play by means of a playthrough. And I think, personally, I'm a big fan of this, because a game like this, with a daunting rulebook and a daunting size, it can be quite hard to get into. And a book like this that literally says, yeah, start here, do this, do that. We're going to explain the game as we play. I actually really enjoy going through a learn to play booklet like this and being taught this way, rather than sitting down and reading a 40-page rulebook. So yeah, so that's that. Now, I don't quite know what we're doing on Friday. We may be doing this. I need to double check with them exactly what they want me to cover on Friday. But I'm certainly going to be playing through this myself first, and that will likely be live streamed for my Patreon supporters as a bonus live stream. But yeah, I need to check with them what they want me to do for the actual video. Do they want me to just play through this, or do they want me to start the campaign? Right, secret envelope. Do not open. It's quite a big envelope. Quite a lot of stuff in there. What have we got now? We have a stretch goal exploration journal. I'm not going to take the plastic off this, but yeah, I don't know what this is, but obviously a stretch goal means that they reached a certain funding goal, and therefore that has allowed them to do something extra. Who knows? Right, character stuff. What's in here then? Okay, so your character, again, I'm going off information from the original game, but your character has a letter that is sent to you, which is basically your backstory. So each character has one of those, and you also get a map. Let me just press a button here and see if this is going to work. It is going to work. Let's put the template back on. There you go. Right, so this is the map that each character starts with, and this is basically, it's a rough outline of where things are. I don't quite know where you start on this, but we found this really useful, or the map that was from the original game really useful, to give you a very rough idea of where things were. So Tuathan is a place which is in the first campaign. It's on the west side, so maybe this is now the southwest. I assume it's on the same continent, but I don't know. Yeah, it must be. It must be on the same continent. Right, player stuff. We have a status sheet. So because it's a campaign game, there is a way in the game where you track certain events. And the way that that's done in this game is with this status sheet. So, for example, you might be doing a particular storyline, and it might say, mark the first box of the curious status. Or maybe even mark box number 5 of the curious status. So decisions you make in the campaign will get you to mark these boxes. And then at some point in the campaign, it will tell you, do you have box 5 marked of the curious or curios? And if you do, then it will branch into a certain way. So yeah, you will have a campaign status sheet that will track certain things in the game. The save sheet is so that you can save your game between sessions, because you will have a character board that we'll see in a minute, and you basically fill in this at the end of your game session with exactly how many of each things you've got. Now, we didn't use this. I actually used a Google Doc. So when we played through the original campaign, I actually had a Google Doc, and I kept the Google Doc up to date rather than filling in this. But yeah, that's what that's for. I don't know what this is. It doesn't say it's secret. It's got a very shiny front cover. Oh, it's a notebook. Right. Now, if you're like me, there is absolutely no way on earth you're going to use this as a notebook. What you're going to do is you're going to put this on the bookshelf because it looks nice, and you're never actually going to write in it. But that's what this is for, making your own notes. Right, what's this? Lost chapters. So this is another save sheet, similar to this one, but presumably for other campaigns. Knight's Wager and the quest for Igraine's tomb. And then Into the Mists. Right, there's lots of extra stuff. I don't know. Let's move them aside. Right, what have we got here? Not sure what this is. Higher power. This looks like some kind of character sheet, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know when you use this. I think from the original campaign, I seem to remember that your characters could evolve. And we never actually got that because that wasn't released when the original game came out. Memories thing. Thank you. Yeah, it's the memories thing. So it's optional things that you can do in the game. If you are playing Elgan and you go to location 111 and you do that, then you go to Elgan's Memory 10. So it was optional in the original game. I'm guessing it's optional in this game, but it's like, yeah, as you say, Michael, it's personal quests. Right, next, the Exploration Journal. This is big and this is hefty. Now, I have gone on record of saying that the storyline and the narrative from the original Tainted Grail campaign, bearing in mind I've only played Fall of Avalon, I haven't played the other campaigns that came with the original game, but I have gone on record of saying that it is my favourite narrative-driven game of all time. And that the narrative and the storyline is some of the best, if not the best, writing and story that I've ever come across. And I stand by that. Nothing for me has been greater than that. Now, I'm saying that for two reasons. The first one is I absolutely love the setting of this game. It mixes Arthurian legends with weird, fantastical creatures. And the designers of this game and the designers of this setting have got such great imaginations that, yeah, I just found it absolutely, completely and utterly immersive. There were even a couple of points during the playthrough where I got somewhat emotional with what was going on. The other thing that I loved about the campaign is that it wasn't a fixed storyline. It was a cross between a branching storyline and an open world game. There was not one linear path through the campaign. You had some fairly major choices to make, and the campaign would work out differently depending on which way you went. And your campaign will be experienced in a different way, rather than a linear storyline where everybody's going on the same journey. Anyway, the Exploration Journal is that narrative, and this, it's just ridiculous. This is massive, but this is how it is. So I can't show you much about this because of spoilers, but essentially it is divided into locations, and I'm hoping there's an index. There's not an index. So I won't show anything, but it's divided into locations, and when you go to a particular location, you will turn to that section and you will read part 1, and then it will say, look at your status sheet. If you've got this box marked, read this. If you've got this box marked, read this, etc., etc. So you might go to one location at the start of the story, and it might be the thriving farming village, and then you might go there later on, and it might say, oh, is drought box 3 ticked? And you're like, oh, yes, it is. And suddenly you arrive at the farming village and it says, oh, now read section such and such a thing. And you read it and you find that the farming village has been struck by drought. And that's your fault because you destroyed the dam like 2 months ago upstream or something like that. So decisions you make in the game will have an impact on the world and on the storyline. Anyway, that's the Exploration Journal. So yes, I can't share too much about that because of spoilers. Right. Now then, Sundropped Minis. So Awaken Realms do this thing, which I think they invented. I'm actually just going to turn the brightness up on the camera because it's a bit dark, isn't it? No, wrong way, Paul. There you go. Is that better? I think that's better. So Awaken Realms, as I've mentioned at the start, I play a lot of miniature games now, and a lot of miniatures from a lot of games look absolutely fantastic. And in my personal opinion, Awaken Realms probably do the best quality miniatures that I've seen. And Awaken Realms also have patented or trademarked whatever the Sundrop technique. Now, their Sundrop technique that they use to create this effect on the miniatures is amazing, and it's actually got better. So from when they first introduced Sundrop, the quality of the Sundrop is now very, very good. We're going to look at those in a bit more detail in a minute, But we are going to now take a quick look at the character trays. So these are very similar to the ones from the original game, but each of the 4 characters, it is up to a 4-player game. Yes, right. So I'm not quite sure why that goes there. Why? I don't know why that's not just included in there. In the previous one, it's because you could put a different character there, but in this one, it's specifically telling me to place Goodwin here. So I don't know. Maybe you swap it out for something later on. But essentially, you've got, it's a dual layer board if you can't see that. And you put markers on here to represent your energy. You spend energy during the day to move around the board and do things. You track your health on here. You've also got your terror. So your health will start at the max and it will go down as you get damaged. Your terror starts at the bottom and it will go up as you become scared. You will track the amount of food, wealth, and experience you've got by cubes. So you use cubes in here to track how many things you've got. And then you've got the skills on the side. So I'm actually just going to take out this skill from earlier on. Yes. So I was right. It is a skill. And you will slot that into there. And I believe, if I believe correctly, you can slot another one in. I think it's something like that. So you will start off, you won't have any of these skills, but you will be putting cubes into here to show how good you are at the 6 different things. And then you can get the skills later on. So, yes, 4 characters. Right, shall we have a look at these miniatures? And I'm going to just show you on the other camera. Yeah, let's get the other camera and let's get these miniatures out. There's more in the box. Right, well, I don't know which ones of these are the characters and which ones are not, but let's have a look at some of them. Let's have a look at this one. In fact, I'm actually just going to zoom in and even more with this camera so that we can have a really good look at these miniatures. I'm not going to spend the entire stream just showing off the miniatures. That's gone out of focus now, hasn't it? There you go. But yeah, you can see the detail. The detail and the quality of these is phenomenal. And if you're one of these people that likes playing these games but can't paint miniatures, this Sundrop is your answer. You do not need to paint these miniatures with this Sundrop because they look so good as they are. But yeah, I don't know what this is, but there's 3 of them. So I'm thinking this may be like the Menhirs from the original game. I'm not seeing any Menhirs in the box. I think these might be the characters. Yeah, that might be one of them. This one looks cool. Look at this. It's got all these arrows sticking out of his shield. Is it going to focus? There you go. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm actually just going to change the focus so that it's fixed there. Anyway, yeah, so this is a character hiding behind a shield wall with a crossbow. No idea what this thing is. Some weird and wonderful thing. Yeah. Is there a guide to which miniature goes where in the box? Now, there is with the other things, but I'm not seeing one for this. So there may be somewhere, but I've not seen it. What else have we got in here? We've got this very cool thing. I saw this on a video earlier on today. This is one of those sheets of red film, but they've got it protected by a very, very fancy looking thing. And the reason for this is that there are certain parts in the game, in the exploration journal, which are hidden text. And you will move this over the text and it will allow you to read the hidden wording. So, yeah, can't show you that, obviously. What else have we got? We've got some dice. We've got some custom dice, which you use for various things in the game. We've got some of these. I don't quite know what... Oh, they're health trackers. Yeah, health trackers and various other bits and bobs. Okay, we'll find out later on. These are the cubes that I mentioned that you will use to track things. I think purples are 5s, maybe. We've got some standees. We've got some other bits and bobs in there. Right, okay. Let's get that out of the way. And now the bottom of the box. So we talked about miniatures. Let's have a look. Now, this, I'm hoping that should, no, that I don't think that should be like that. Unfortunately, we have a damaged miniature. So I will work out how I'm going to fix that. That looks like it's broken off something. So again, this is the thing with live unboxings, is that this seems to have broken off from something, and I don't know where. I mean this one. So I'm gonna have to get a friend of mine to fix it. Oh no, it might glue back on okay. But yeah, that was supposed to be there, and it's broken off. So yeah, that's going to need a little bit of a fix. So right, these are the Kings of Ruin, apparently. Right, let's go back to the. It was this one, wasn't it? Yeah, let's go back to this one and let's have a look at these miniatures. So again, this is the one with the broken arm. That will need fixing back, but I'm just going to show you the miniatures. So apparently these are the Kings of Ruin. I mean, yeah, the miniatures are just utterly fantastic. The molds and everything else. We've got this one. This is lots and lots of tentacles. Okay. And we've got this one as well. Right. So that's the miniatures. Let's get them back in, because otherwise I'm going to forget what goes where. And if anybody has any tips for me on how to fix a miniature like that, yeah, a friend of mine, Pete, is good at doing that sort of thing, and I'll probably have a word with him because he's coming around later on today, and I'll find out what he can do. We have cards, so I can't really show you too much about these cards because there may be spoilers. I mean, these are specifically called secret cards, so you will have them nearby. But some of the cards are used to create the map. So just going to try and find which ones. Yeah, these are the map cards. Here we go. I'll show you this one. But this is the map, and basically you will have a deck of cards and you will lay out the map and you will move from one place to another on the map. But we have a huge amount of other cards down here, which are going to be, because it's a card-driven game, when you are fighting monsters or you're doing diplomacy checks, yeah, you're going to be playing cards from your hand. So there's lots and lots of cards in the game. I'm actually just going to open one of the packs just to show off the sort of style and the artwork and things like that, because I really like it. Again, as well as the game itself, it's the narrative and the theme of the game. I really did enjoy the artwork as well. So these are Elgin's cards, lots and lots of icons, but these are cards which are specifically for Elgin. I don't know if these are his starting cards or these are ones that it will get later on. But yeah, each character will have their own unique cards. And the effects of the cards we found were actually quite thematic. Although it looks like you're just doing icons and effects and things like that, we actually found when we were playing the game that the card itself seemed to create an effect that matched the name of the card and the artwork. I remember when we were playing through it, and I think I was playing Bjorn, who's like a big, tough blacksmith character. And whenever we were involved in any like diplomacy checks, some of Bjorn's cards were like, oh, I'm going to shout at them, or I'm going to intimidate them, or I'm going to threaten them. And I remember one situation, we're in this village, and there was this screaming child who'd lost his mother. And it was a diplomacy check. And Bjorn was basically just shouting at this kid and intimidating this kid. And we were like, well, this feels wrong, you know, because you shouldn't really shout at children if they're crying because they've lost their parents. But actually, thematically, the effects that the card generated actually works out. And it kind of told this little mini story as we were doing it. Now, you could just play a game like this and say, oh, I'm gonna play this card, I'm gonna move this cube from there, and I'm gonna do this. Or you could sort of imagine the situation happening and thinking, oh yeah, what we've done is we've actually done this little thing. So yeah, I thought it was quite cool. I did like the card playing mechanism in the game. Anyway, that is the base box. There's loads more cards here, but again, I'm not going to look at these, and I am a bit limited on time today because I've got a playthrough tonight of a totally different game that I'm getting ready for soon. So let's get this back away as much as I can, and then let's have a look at some of the other components. So this, what you've seen here, is a self-contained game. You do not need any of the other stuff that I'm about to show you. Some of the extra stuff is just additional bling to make your game look nice, but you definitely don't need it. Right, let's have a look at that. And let's start with the playmat. So there is a play mat, which again, you don't need, but can be quite handy because you, this is where you will put the cards. So when you're exploring around, and the map is bigger than this, so if you do go off the side, you'll have to shuffle things across. But this is where you will place the location cards when you're exploring. I don't quite know what goes here because I don't know the rules of the game yet. But yeah, this is the play mat, which is an optional extra that you can use. Right, let's now talk about upgraded resources. So we mentioned that you're going to be using cubes in the game to represent how much experience, reputation, food, and wealth and things like that you've got. This was an add-on optional extra where you can actually use, and I'm going to open some of these. So sorry for the wrinkling, but we have little food markers. So these are bread. Then we've got some coins for the money. These are very cool. Yeah, like runic, magic-y symbols. So these are quite cool. We've got some red banners and we've got some little scrolls. I mean, you could probably use these in other games as well. So yeah, upgraded resources. Now, again, you do not need these, but if you like blinging out your game, they will provide you. Well, it makes me happy. Playing with upgraded components does make me happy. Right, we've also got, and I don't know what this is really, but it is a campsite. So it's a 3-stage campsite, and I don't know what this is for because I've not played the game, but, and I did take this out earlier on just to have a look and see what it was. It's a campsite that comes in 3 parts, and I'm going to guess here that this is your starting campsite, and I've never seen this before in a game, but this is an additional bit that you can add to it. And if you look at that, this is your campfire from before. Now you're going to upgrade it with like a little cooking pot. I think, I don't know. The reason I'm saying that you do this in the game, even though I don't really know, is that if you didn't do this, it would just all come as one miniature. And the fact that it comes as separate miniatures makes me think that you can actually upgrade your campsite over the course of the game. And then you could build like a little tent, which goes on here somehow. So yeah, anyway, that's that 3-part campsite. So yeah, we'll move that off to one side. What else have we got? And he's got his own little pack of cards to go with it as well. Right, next. Let's open this. So I did see an image of this on screen. This is the deluxe exploration journal. So you know that exploration journal that we showed you? The massive book with 5 billion words of text. This is a deluxe version of it. So this is definitely just for those people who wanted, and yeah. Let's see what this is like, because I've seen a picture of it and I was very impressed. So it basically looks like it's, wow. That's like, I don't know what it's made of, but it's basically a much, much nicer version with a proper, it's like a leathery front cover. Or something like that. I'm assuming inside is the same. Inside is the same text as in the other one. So yeah, that's just a very, very nice deluxe little add-on. Right, what else have we got? Let's show you the weird encounters, which I think is the box of miniatures which replaces the standees. So you know all of those standees that we saw when we opened up the box? Well, this is the miniatures if you want to use the miniatures instead of the standees. So again, it's an optional add-on extra. But these are all sun-dropped as well. Let's get that off. And I'm not going to show you all of these. I'm just going to show you, yeah, the box. And I might get one out like this one. Maybe we'll get this one out. Because this one looks insanely good. Oh. Yeah, so no idea what this is. But again, the quality of the miniatures, as I've mentioned on more than one occasion, is fantastic. So the sculpting is very good. The moulding is very good. And yeah, the sun drop does look very nice. Like a crab. Some weird crab thing. Yeah. Anyway, right. So yeah, that's that. And what's really nice is that there is this, so you know where to put things back. But I didn't see one of these for the base game. So yeah, but if you've got the base game, I'm not quite sure where things go. Right, let's just put that back on, and that back on, and that back on before I lose it. We don't have much else to show you now, but we have a big box of sleeves. So Awaken Guard is their own range of card protectors, and this is going to be basically cards for the entire thing. Really good quality sleeves, in my opinion, and I've used a lot of sleeves over my lifetime. So the final thing to show you, I think it's the final thing, is Mounted Heroes. And again, I'm going to assume that this is just an optional extra that you can use if you want to. So during the game, you can get yourselves mounts, and this allows you to basically use this figure instead of your normal figure if you're on a mount. And I will just show you one of these because this looks great. That crab creature thing that we saw earlier on. Yeah, well, there you go. You can now tame the beast and ride it. So yeah, again, crazy good quality miniatures for these, if you're into that kind of thing. And I am a miniature painter myself, but to be honest, I don't think I'm going to bother painting these. I have painted some from the original game, but the quality of these is so good that I'm probably not going to bother painting them myself. I've got so many other games that I need to paint miniatures for. Right, we're done. I don't think I've missed anything. Apologies if I have, but that is Tainted Grail, Kings of Ruin. I think that is everything that you can get for the Kings of Ruin game. As I mentioned at the start, I don't have the upgrade pack. I will contact Awaken Realms because we do want to play the other Tainted Grail campaigns at some point in our lives. We're probably going to play this one next, rather than going back to the old ones. But at some point, I do want to go back and revisit the other two of the original 3 campaigns with the updated rules. And the update pack also contains, I believe, some fixed cards and some fixed other stuff as well. So, yeah, we'll see. And as I mentioned, next Friday, so Friday the 15th of March, 2024, 8 o'clock p.m. UK time, I'm going to be doing a playthrough of this. I need to speak to Awaken Realms to see exactly what they want me to do a playthrough of, but that will be coming to the channel next Friday. So I've got between now and then to thoroughly learn the game well enough that I can show you how it plays and do a playthrough of it. But that's it. Thank you very much to everybody for watching. For those people interested, I am doing a live playthrough tonight of a new game from Chip Theory Games called Wrath. That's happening tonight at 8 o'clock. So if you're interested in that, I'll be doing that later on today, which is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to pack this away. I'm going to get Wrath out, set it all up, ready for this evening. So thank you very much to everybody for watching. This was not a sponsored video. Although the video that I'm doing next Friday is going to be sponsored, this one is not sponsored. So a big thank you to all of my Patreon supporters for funding the channel. And if you like the content that I create and you want to support me directly and get access to some additional bonus content, like me learning how to play this game, you can support me at patreon.com/gaming rules. And a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters for making everything that I do possible. Right, I'm going to go now and get a cup of tea and put this away. See you all next time. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.